Hey, this is Adam back with another video with Global Abundance LLC. Welcome to the channel. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping in. On this channel, we talk about all things real estate, residential, and commercial with a little financial literacy and mindset content sprinkled in. So we also have a free VIP group where we share information on the real estate industry. We talk about what's working, what's not working, and answer questions. So if you'd like to join a community of like-minded individuals like yourself, go ahead and hit that link. It'll be in the description below. So today's video is going to be basically about how to run the numbers when you're selling your house. So one thing that's important when you're reviewing offers is to know how to run the numbers correctly. An offer, might look good on paper, but that doesn't mean it's the best choice for you right now, right? So one thing you need to keep in mind is your closing costs. With a traditional sale, you can generally expect to pay between 2 and 6% or 5% of the final sales price and closing costs, give or take. This is going to depend on, where you choose to close and how much you're selling for. So, go ahead and budget in 5% on the safe side. All right. Repairs is something that you obviously need to keep in mind. Now, repairs should be considered when you're reviewing offers. You probably spent a fair amount of money fixing up the place probably while you had it. And in a lot of cases, you're going to need to have some repairs done before selling. So keep in mind that the new buyer will use repairs as a way to negotiate the price down after the inspection. So if you're selling directly, though, you'll likely keep that cash in your pocket because certain buyers will just pick up the property as is. If you're selling to a wholesaler or directly with certain cash buyers, a person getting a traditional loan and not necessarily an investor looking to live in the property, there'll be, you know, you'll need to make sure those repairs are up to par for that individual. Another thing is, contingencies. Contingencies are something that, are you're going to have to deal with. And there are all kinds of contingencies that a buyer might put in their contract. So contingencies protect the buyer in case something goes wrong which, sometimes they do. All right. The contingency lets them back out of a problem property without any penalties. That's important for the buyer, right? So contingencies, are something that you need to keep in mind as well, right? Timeline. How fast will your buyer be able to close is a question that you need to be able to answer. As any investor would tell you, the longer you hold on to a property, the more it's going to end up costing you in the end, right? So holding costs can add up quickly, eating into your profits. So while the property is on the market, you'll have to continue, paying for things such as, homeowners insurance, property taxes, utility bills, possibly a mortgage, and, routine maintenance on the property. Now, you're responsible for these items up until the day of closing. If your house sits on the market for a while, or if the sale falls through, you could find yourself stuck paying these costs for the next several months until you're able to find a buyer and actually sell. Something else is risk. Like keeping in mind your risk. There's the risks involved in every real estate transaction. So if your buyer is using financing, you'll want to be prepared just in case things fall through. A lot of times a lender will back out of the deal, if a property appraises too low. Sales fall through every day. All right. And you want to just be prepared if yours, kind of starts to veer towards that lane as well. If you're working with a buyer who is, using financing, make sure that they're pre-approved and not just pre-qualified. Okay. So if you choose to sell to a cash buyer, though, your risk of things falling through, drops way down. Okay. Real cash buyers will have the money ready to go before making an offer for your property. So this will save you days or even weeks as opposed to, dealing with all the lender's requirements on the other end. Now, when you sell directly, you want to have to, you're not going to have to deal with appraisals, inspections for the most part, repairs, or any red tape from a lender. There'll still be an inspection there, but repairs shouldn't be that big of a deal when you're selling to a buyer that is buying as is. Okay. Appliances and fixtures. Sometimes when you're selling a house, the furniture, fixtures, and appliances, may come into play. Does your potential buyer want to keep any of those items, or are you taking everything with you? If you're leaving any items with the new buyers, you'll want to factor in, how much it'll cost you to replace that. Okay. Having to replace appliances, fixtures, and other items in your new home can cost a fortune. All right. So make sure you're prepared for these replacement costs before accepting an offer for your property. All right. So that was just kind of a brief overview, of, some things that you want to keep in mind when you are running the numbers and viewing offers. Okay. Another thing I'll talk about is, if you choose to work with the local real estate agent, you'll have to commit to a listing agreement. So once you've entered into this agreement, your agent will be entitled to their commission, or at least a part of it. So no matter, how the house sells. So if you're able to find a reputable buyer, such, like before hiring an agent, you'll be able to instantly save on, commission costs. All right. So this can be, on upwards of 6% of the final sales price that you'll be able to ultimately keep in your pocket. So, that could add up to thousands of dollars that you'll be able to use for the next property if you want to. So I'll leave that there. Just some things that you want to keep in mind when you're running the numbers and looking at offers, so you can make it worth your while and make sure that you're getting the best dollar for your specific situation. So until next time, if you have any comments or questions or anything that you want to talk about regarding looking at the numbers and looking at offers and making sure you are running your numbers properly, go ahead and leave a comment below. I'll reach back and we can have a conversation about it. All right. So until next time, have a good one.